Hello guys, welcome to Helpful Solutions, and let's begin. Of course, a pivot table might be used for a lot of things, but as you can see, I have a pivot table right now called pivot table 3 that I don't normally use or I don't need because, of course, my screen doesn't need a pivot table. Maybe you created this on accident and maybe you did a lot of things after that and you don't want to just Control Z all the way until it's deleted. So you need to delete it in a better and a more fashionable sense that is actually easier for you. How can you do it? Of course, if your pivot table is not particularly big, like something like this, you can always just start from the one corner of the pivot table like this, then select all of the corner. Of course, I couldn't do it, but select all of the pivot table like this from 9E to G26, all of the corners. Then I can just go delete on my keyboard and it will immediately delete everything this pivot table has, and when I go back, it's like it never existed. But let's say, for example, your pivot table is too big, or you can't just control all the pivot table, your pivot table is too big, or just anything in that sort, so you can't just change your pivot table that way. What can you do? If your pivot table is like that as well, maybe too big or having too much space or maybe in between data, so it's in a weird position, you can't just select all of it like this, what can you do? First of all, click on your pivot table, any part of your pivot table like this, and when you click on it, there will be a new button up top. As you can see, there is a button like Home, Insert, Page Layout. These are the old ones. But if you go all the way to the right like this, there is a Pivot Table Tools option. When you not click on it, it goes away. And when you click on the pivot table, it comes back. It's called Pivot Table Analyze. The Pivot Table Analyze option helps us with a particular problem, selecting all of the pivot table. From the Pivot Table Analyze option, as you can see, a new ribbon will pop up. You'll be able to change the name and everything, but I don't want to change the name or do anything in that regard. I want to go all the way to the right, and at the middle of the screen, up top of the H column here, there's an option of Clear, Select, and Move Pivot Table. I need to go and select, and from the select, I will do the entire pivot table. This option right here, the entire pivot table, that's down of labels and up top of enable selection. I will do the entire pivot table, and that will select all of the pivot table for me, so that way I can just Control delete again, or just press delete on my keyboard again to make sure it is gone and everything is back to normal. And yes guys, that was basically it, and as you can see, it was that easy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to give us a like and maybe subscribe to our channel, Savvy Professor. In any other case, we hope to see you in the next video as well. Have a great day and goodbye.